My wife threw a forbidden party. While I was on a work trip, her actions led to my daughter being attacked by 2 men. So I took my revenge and destroyed her life. Alright, Reddit. What I'm about to drop is rough. Pull up a chair and listen. While I was on a work trip, my wife threw a forbidden party and let strangers into my house. By the end of the night, my 14-year-old daughter had been attacked. I can't spell it out here, but you get it. I came home and burned her world down. Name's Nathan, 38 male. Here's what happened. Phoenix in July is brutal. 110 degrees, meetings back to back, and I'm trying to close a deal that's been 6 months in the making. My phone rings at 2 in the afternoon. Unknown number. Normally I'd ignore it, but something made me pick up. Is this Nathan Walker? Yeah, who's this? Detective Cole, Portland PD. I need you to call your wife immediately. There's been an incident involving your daughter. My stomach dropped. What kind of incident? I can't discuss details over the phone, but you need to get home. Today. Hung up. Called Amanda. Straight to voicemail. Called again. Nothing. Tried my daughter Sydney's phone. Off. Called my neighbor. She picked up on the first ring. Nathan, thank God. I've been trying to reach you. What happened? There was a party at your house last night. Police showed up this morning. Amanda and Sydney left in an ambulance around 9. I was already pulling up flights. Where'd they go? Providence St. Vincent. That's all I know. 4-hour flight. Landed at 8 p.m. Portland time. Drove straight to the hospital. Found Amanda in the waiting room. She looked terrible. Hair a mess. Makeup smeared. Wearing the same clothes from yesterday. Where's Sydney? They're examining her. Nathan, I can explain. What the heck happened? She started crying. There was a party. I didn't think it would be a big deal. You were gone. Sydney was studying upstairs. I just wanted to have some friends over. You threw a party? I was gone for 4 days, and you threw a party? It was supposed to be small. Just a few people. Just a few. But it got out of hand. A doctor came out. Mr. Walker? That's me. I'm Dr. Elaine. Your daughter's stable, but I need to talk to you privately. Amanda stood up. I should be there. Just the father right now. We went to a consultation room. The doctor closed the door. Your daughter was attacked last night. Multiple perpetrators. The words hit me like a punch. What are you talking about? She has injuries consistent with violent force. He continued. We've collected evidence, contacted police, and administered emergency contraception. She's been sedated for now. I'm so sorry. The police want to speak with you when you're ready. And your wife. There are questions about who was at the party and why your wife didn't intervene. What kind of questions? About how your daughter ended up alone with adult men. I froze. Adult men? 2 of them. Early 20s. Your wife knew them apparently. That's what your daughter said before we sedated her. Can I see her? She's sleeping. Come back in the morning. Bring comfortable clothes. I went back to the waiting room. Amanda was gone. Nurse said she left 20 minutes ago. Took an Uber. I drove home at 9 p.m. House was still a wreck. Red cups everywhere. Furniture moved. Something sticky on the hardwood floors. I walked through each room documenting everything with my phone. Living room, kitchen, upstairs hallway. Sydney's bedroom door was busted. Lock ripped clean off the frame. I stood there staring at it. My 14-year-old daughter locked herself in her room and someone broke down the door. Amanda was in our bedroom, on the bed, staring at the ceiling. Why'd you leave the hospital? I couldn't stay there. The way the nurses were looking at me. Did you? She turned her head. What? The doctor said adult men were at the party. Men you knew. Said Sydney was alone with them. So I'm asking. What the heck did you do? It was an accident. What was an accident? Throwing the party? Inviting grown men? Leaving our daughter alone with them? Which part? I didn't know they would hurt her. But you knew they were here. She sat up. I went to get food. I was gone maybe an hour. When I came back, everyone was leaving. I found Sydney in her room crying. She wouldn't tell me what happened. I thought maybe she had a fight with her boyfriend. You came home to our daughter crying and you didn't immediately find out why? She's a teenager. I thought she was being dramatic. I stood there looking at my wife, 16 years together, mother of my child, and I didn't know who the hell she was anymore. I'm sleeping in the guest room. We'll talk more tomorrow after I see Sydney. My phone buzzed. Text from Detective Cole. Need to speak with you and your wife tomorrow morning. 9 a.m. at the station. I didn't respond. Just turned off the light and stared at the ceiling until sunrise. Detective Cole looked like he'd seen too much. Mid-50s, gray beard, tired eyes. He set up the interview room with 2 chairs facing him. Amanda sat to my left. He started with the basics. Walk me through the party. Who was there? How many people? Standard questions. Amanda claimed it was friends from the gym, some neighbors. Maybe 30 or 40 people. Said I knew she was having people over. I stopped her right there. No, I didn't. Then Cole got specific. Were there men in their 20s? Amanda hesitated. Maybe. She didn't know everyone's age. But Sydney had told the police Amanda knew the 2 guys who attacked her. Amanda admitted she knew them from the gym. Kyle and Troy. Cole slid 2 mugshots across the table. Amanda nodded. That's them. Kyle Brennan, 23. Troy Daniels, 24. Both had records. Kyle was on probation for dealing. Troy had priors. These were the men Amanda invited to a house with my daughter inside. The detective laid out the timeline from the receipt he'd pulled. Amanda left at 11:34 p.m. for food. Got back at 12:51 a.m. hour and 17 minutes. During that time, Sydney was upstairs getting attacked. Multiple witnesses heard yelling. Amanda claimed she heard nothing when she got back because the music was loud. Didn't check on Sydney until 2 a.m., 3 hours after she got home. Cole called her out. The story had holes. Big ones. They had witnesses who said Amanda was downstairs when the yelling started. And they had text messages from Kyle's phone. Messages where Amanda told Kyle that Sydney thought he was cute. Where she gave him Sydney's Instagram. Where she basically set up my daughter with this guy. My hands clenched. She actually did that. Amanda tried to spin it. Said she was just being nice. Kyle asked if Sydney was single, she said yes. Didn't think anything of it. But Cole wasn't buying it. And neither was I. A grown man asking about your teenage daughter and you don't see the problem? Amanda started crying and asked for a lawyer. Interview over. Cole took me to another room. Told me straight up that Amanda was lying. Kyle and Troy had both lawyered up. But Kyle's phone told them everything they needed. 6 months of messages between him and Amanda. Flirty stuff. Inappropriate. And 3 weeks before the party, Amanda asked Kyle if he could get her pills. She was buying from him. Owed him $2,200. Last payment was 4 months ago. Everything clicked. She set up Sydney to pay off the debt. Cole couldn't prove intent yet, but between him and me, that's exactly what happened. Kyle and Troy were getting charged. Solid case, DNA evidence, video evidence. One of them filmed it. They were looking at 10 to 15 years each. As for Amanda, if the DA thought she knowingly facilitated this, she'd be facing charges too. Child endangerment minimum, maybe more. Cole's advice was simple. Get Sydney somewhere safe. Get a lawyer. I drove home. Amanda was already there packing a bag. Said she was going to her mother's. You're not staying here anymore. Take everything you need. What do you mean I can't? I cut her off. Did you set up our daughter? No, I didn't. And did you owe Kyle money? She tried to explain again. Just answer me. Yes or no. Fine. Yes, I did. That was all I needed to hear. Take whatever you need and leave. Now. This is my house too, she yelled. You can't kick me out. Your name isn't on the deed? Pack your shit and get out. I don't want to see your face. She looked at me like she couldn't believe this was happening. Said she was my wife, I corrected her. You were my wife. Now you're a cheater and someone who destroyed our daughter's life for pills. I walked upstairs, locked myself in Sydney's room, sat on her bed surrounded by her stuff. My phone rang. Family law attorney named Allison Park. Detective Cole had mentioned I might need representation. First consultation was free. Based on what Cole told her, I had a strong case. She could make sure Amanda never had unsupervised access to Sydney again. That's exactly what I wanted. Complete custody. Supervised visits only. And Amanda paying every penny of Sydney's therapy. I hung up and called the locksmith. Had every lock changed that night. $500. Worth every cent. Then I went full fortress mode. New Ring doorbell with better camera. Motion sensors on every door and window. Smart lock on Sydney's bedroom. Upgraded security system. Cameras for the backyard. Then I drove to the hospital. Sydney was awake. Looked small in that bed. Bruises on her face. I sat on the edge and hugged her while she cried. She asked where Mom was. I told her she was staying with Grandma for a while. She looked at me with this expression that broke my heart. Asked if Mom was mad at her. None of this was her fault. I made sure she knew that. Then Sydney told me everything. How Amanda kept pushing her to talk to Kyle. How she told Amanda she wasn't interested. How Amanda kept insisting. How she locked her door thinking she'd be safe. How they broke it down anyway. How they hurt her while Mom was downstairs the whole time. She asked why Mom didn't help her. I didn't have an answer. Sydney said she didn't want to see Amanda. Not right now. Maybe not ever. I told her she didn't have to. I was handling it. Just her and me from now on. Mom wouldn't be around unless Sydney wanted her to be. We sat there for a while. Eventually, she fell asleep. I stayed until morning. Brought her home the next day. Set her up in the master bedroom. Bigger space. Better view. Then I went to meet with the lawyer. Time to burn it all down. Allison Park's office was downtown. 15th floor. Windows overlooking the river. She'd reviewed the police reports. Called it one of the worst cases she'd seen. Amanda had facilitated the attack on Sydney. Invited known criminals to our home. Pushed Sydney toward one of them. Left during the attack. Failed to intervene. Based on text messages, she was probably trying to clear a drug debt by setting up our daughter. The DA was considering charges. And for custody purposes, this was a slam dunk. We could file for emergency custody today. Then proceed with divorce. She needed everything. Police reports. Hospital records. Sydney's statement. Text messages. I had most of it already. We'd file that afternoon. I'd have temporary full custody by end of week. Amanda would get no contact with Sydney unless supervised. I told Allison what I wanted. Everything. The house. Both cars. Full custody. Amanda paying for all of Sydney's therapy. Allison asked about spousal support. I said Amanda doesn't get a dime. She warned me Amanda might fight that. I reminded her that Cash App payments to drug dealers make for lousy alimony cases. We spent 2 hours going through everything. By the end, Allison had enough to bury Amanda in paperwork. I mentioned Amanda's mom was posting on social media, supporting Amanda and calling me controlling. Allison told me to screenshot everything. It showed a pattern of denial and enabling. I left feeling lighter. Got home and Sydney was in the living room with her new therapist. Woman named Dr. Reeves. She said they were making progress and that Sydney had been very brave. After she left, I checked in with Sydney. She said Dr. Reeves was nice. Then she mentioned the police had called. They wanted her to testify at the trial. I told her she didn't have to if she didn't want to. She said she wanted them to go to prison. Just didn't want to see Mom. I assured her she wouldn't have to. Court order. Amanda wasn't allowed contact. If she tried, she'd go to jail. My phone buzzed. Text from a number I didn't recognize. Amanda's mom. Saying I needed to let Amanda see Sydney. That what I was doing was cruel. I showed Sydney. She said she didn't want to see her. So I texted back that Sydney didn't want contact and I was respecting her wishes. If Amanda's mom continued to harass us, I'd file a restraining order. 2 days later, Amanda got served with divorce papers. She called immediately. I let it go to voicemail. Standard desperate plea. We need to talk. I know I messed up. We can fix this. Don't take Sydney from me. I deleted it. She called 6 more times that day. Blocked her number. She started texting from her mom's phone. Blocked that too. Then she showed up at the house. Rang the doorbell. Banged on the windows. Sydney heard it and started panicking. I called the cops. They came and removed her. Warned her about trespassing. Allison called that night. Amanda had filed a response. She was contesting the custody arrangement. Claimed I was keeping Sydney from her out of spite. Wanted shared custody and spousal support. Her grounds? She'd been a stay-at-home mom for years. Sacrificed her career. I reminded Allison that Amanda taught spin classes part-time. 20 hours a week. Allison already knew. But Amanda was going to play victim. Her lawyer was already spinning this as a vindictive husband, using a traumatic situation to punish his wife for having friends. Right. Drug dealers count as friends now, apparently. The custody hearing was in 3 weeks. We'd present everything then. I spent the next week building my case. Printed every text message between Amanda and Kyle. 6 months of conversations. Started innocent. Got flirtier. Then turned into pill requests. One message from 2 weeks before the party stood out. Amanda told Kyle she didn't have the money and asked if they could work something out. Kyle asked what she had in mind. She didn't know. Then he asked if Sydney was single. She said yes. 2 days later, Amanda texted Kyle saying Sydney thought he was cute and that she'd told Sydney he was nice. Kyle said maybe he talked to her at the party. Amanda confirmed Sydney would be there. Home all night. I printed it all. Highlighted the key parts. Added it to the file. Then the DA called. Maria Valdez. She was prosecuting Kyle and Troy. Considering charging Amanda too. Criminal facilitation. Child endangerment. But she needed to know if Sydney would testify. I told her Sydney was willing to. Valdez warned me that Amanda was in serious trouble. If they could prove she knowingly facilitated this, she was looking at years. Good. She deserved every second. The custody hearing came fast. Showed up with Allison. Amanda was there with her lawyer. Expensive suit. Her mom was funding it. Sitting in the back row glaring at me. The judge reviewed everything. Police reports. Medical records. Text messages. Sydney's written statement. By the end, Amanda's lawyer had nothing. He tried anyway. Said Amanda made a mistake, but she loved her daughter and wanted to make things right. The judge wasn't having it. Pointed out that Amanda invited convicted criminals to her home. Pushed her underage daughter toward a dealer. Left during the attack. Didn't see much love in that. The verdict was quick. I got full custody. Amanda got supervised visitation only. 1 hour weekly. Approved supervisor required. Amanda pays all therapy costs. $1,200 monthly. We walked out. Amanda was crying in the hallway. Her mom comforting her. Both staring at me like I was the monster. Amanda's mom stepped forward. Accused me of poisoning Sydney against her mother. I told her I didn't need to. Her mother poisoned herself. She pulled the grandparent rights card. Said Sydney was her granddaughter. I reminded her she didn't have any rights. Suggested she check with her lawyer. Oh wait, he quit. Allison pulled me away before I could say anything else. We'd won. No need to give them ammunition. Got home and Sydney was waiting. I told her I had full custody. Her mom got supervised visits if she wanted them. She didn't. Then she didn't have to see Amanda. Ever. Not until she was ready. 2 weeks later, the DA formally charged Amanda. Criminal facilitation. Child endangerment. 2 counts of reckless endangerment. She was looking at 5 to 8 years. Her lawyer issued a statement. Called her a loving mother being persecuted by a vengeful ex. I forwarded the text messages to 3 local reporters. They ran with it. Story was everywhere within 24 hours. Local mom charged after daughter attacked at party she threw. Text messages reveal mom pushed daughter toward dealer before attack. Comment section was brutal. The gym terminated her contract. Her friends stopped calling. Her social media went dark. She deleted everything. Her mom kept fighting though. Posted long rants on Facebook about how I destroyed Amanda's life. So I filed for a restraining order. Judge granted it. Amanda's mom was now prohibited from contacting me or Sydney. That shut her up quick. Summer turned to fall. Sydney started therapy 3 times a week. Made slow progress. Dr. Reeves said she was doing well considering. Said trauma like this takes years to process. School started. Sydney wanted to try regular classes again. I was nervous, but she insisted. First week was rough. Kids whispered. Some had seen the news. Administration moved her to a different class. Better kids. More supportive. Made one friend. Girl named Jordan. They ate lunch together every day. Jordan's parents reached out. Said Sydney was welcome at their house anytime. They were good people. Amanda's trial date was set for October. The criminal trial against Kyle and Troy happened first. Sydney testified. Prosecutor walked her through everything. Defense lawyers tried to rattle her. Suggested she'd wanted it. That she'd been flirting. The prosecutor objected immediately. The judge sustained it. The jury looked disgusted. 3 women were crying. The verdict came back in 4 hours. Guilty on all counts. Kyle got 12 years. Troy got 10. Amanda's trial was 3 weeks later. The prosecutor built a timeline, showed the text messages, brought in witnesses who heard yelling, and saw Amanda downstairs doing nothing. Called me to testify. Did your wife have your permission to throw this party? No. She told me she might have a friend over. One person. Not 40. Did you know she was friends with Kyle Brennan? No. Did you know she owed him money? Not until after the attack. The defense attorney tried to make it seem like I was controlling, that Amanda was afraid of me. Isn't it true you monitored her phone? No. But you did after? After I found out she'd been buying pills from a dealer and set up our daughter? Yeah. I checked everything. Wouldn't you? Amanda testified in her own defense. Big mistake. Her lawyer should have stopped her. The prosecutor tore her apart. Mrs. Walker, you sent a message to Kyle Brennan saying your daughter thought he was cute. Is that correct? Yes. Did you know he was interested in her? I thought it was harmless. He's 23. She's 14. Did that not concern you? I didn't think about it like that. I thought he was being nice. And when you left to get food, did you check on your daughter before you left? Did you tell anyone to keep an eye on her? I didn't think I needed to. You had 40 people at your house, including known criminals, and you didn't think you needed to make sure your daughter was safe? I thought she was fine. For over an hour while she was being attacked upstairs, you were downstairs. Multiple people testified they heard yelling. You heard nothing? The music was loud. I didn't hear anything. And when you got back, you still didn't check on her? I was cleaning up. For 3 hours? Amanda didn't have an answer for that. The jury deliberated for 2 days, came back with guilty verdicts on all counts. The judge scheduled sentencing for 2 weeks later. At sentencing, Sydney read a victim impact statement, talked about how her mother's actions destroyed her sense of safety, how she couldn't trust anyone, how she had nightmares every night. Amanda cried the whole time. The judge wasn't moved. Mrs. Walker, you were supposed to protect your daughter. Instead, you created the conditions for her to be attacked. I'm sentencing you to 6 years in the Oregon Department of Corrections. You'll serve at minimum 4 years before parole eligibility. Upon release, you'll have 3 years of post-release supervision and a lifetime no-contact order regarding the victim. Do you understand? Amanda nodded. They took her away in handcuffs. Her mom screamed at me in the parking lot. You did this. You destroyed my daughter. No, she destroyed herself, and she destroyed our daughter in the process. Security had to escort Amanda's mom away. She kept screaming. I got a call from her the next day, threatening to sue for grandparent visitation rights. I forwarded it to Allison. She laughed. Oregon doesn't grant grandparent visitation when the parent objects. Tell her to go away or you'll file harassment charges. I sent that message. Never heard from her again. With Amanda in prison, the divorce moved fast. She couldn't contest anything from behind bars. I got the house, the cars, the investment accounts, everything. Her lawyer tried to argue she deserved half. The judge looked at the circumstances, told her lawyer to sit down. Your client gets nothing. Mr. Walker gets full assets and full custody. Next case. 16-year marriage ended with a judge's signature and zero sympathy. I sold the house. Too many bad memories. Bought a smaller place across town, better neighborhood, good schools, fresh start. Sydney got to design her room, picked purple walls, black furniture, covered it in band posters and string lights, started sleeping through the night again, still had nightmares, still woke up screaming sometimes, but less often. Jordan came over most weekends. They'd make art projects and watch movies. Normal teenage stuff. Amanda called from prison in January. Collect call. Nathan, what do you want? I'm sorry. I know that doesn't mean anything, but I need you to know you're sorry you got caught, not sorry for what you did. That's not fair. Our daughter can't sleep without medication, has panic attacks in public, failed 2 classes, still in therapy 3 times a week. But sure, let's talk about fair. Silence. Does she hate me? Yes. Will she ever forgive me? I don't know, but that's not your concern right now. Your concern is serving your time. When you get out, if Sydney wants to see you, that's her choice. But I'm not going to push her. I'll do anything. Start by staying away. I'm her mother. You were her mother. Now you're just someone who failed her. I hung up. Tax season came, filed as head of household, claimed Sydney as a dependent, got a decent return, put it in Sydney's college fund. Allison called in March. I'm getting reports that Amanda's up for early release. Good behavior. She could be out in 4 years instead of 6. Can we contest that? Not really. But we can make sure the parole conditions are strict. No contact with Sydney. Regular check-ins, drug tests. Do it. I don't want her anywhere near us. I told Sydney that night. She took it better than expected. 4 years? Maybe. But she can't contact you. Can't come near the house. She breaks those rules, she goes back. What if she does come near the house? I call the cops. She gets arrested. Simple. Sydney nodded. I don't want to see her. Even in 4 years. Maybe not ever. Your choice. She hugged me. Spring brought new problems. Amanda's mom filed a civil lawsuit. Against me. Claimed I'd alienated Sydney from Amanda. That I'd poisoned her mind. Allison called it frivolous. She has no standing. And even if she did, alienation requires proof that you actively prevented contact. You didn't. You're following court orders. So we just ignore it? No. We respond. And then we countersue for harassment and legal fees. We filed a response, included every piece of evidence, every text message, every police report, every witness statement. Also filed a countersuit. Harassment, emotional distress, abuse of process. Asked for $50,000 in damages plus legal fees. Amanda's mom's lawyer withdrew 2 weeks later, said he couldn't represent her in good conscience. She tried to find another lawyer. No one would take the case. She filed paperwork pro se. The judge took one look at it and dismissed everything. Granted our countersuit. Said she owed us $30,000. She claimed she didn't have it. We'd see about that. Meanwhile, Amanda's lawyer filed an appeal on her criminal conviction. Said the judge showed bias. That the jury was tainted. The DA's office fought it hard. Appeal was denied in June. Amanda's conviction stood. She had 4 years minimum. Then she'd be out. I started talking to Allison about protective orders. About what happens if Amanda tried to contact Sydney after release. If she violates the no contact order, she goes back to prison. But you should prepare Sydney. Let her know her mother will be out eventually. I told Sydney one night over dinner. Your mom's release date will be at earliest 4 years from her sentencing. She'll be on parole. Strict conditions. But she'll be free. What if she tries to see me? Then she violates parole and goes back. But you're going to be 18 by then. A legal adult. You'll have complete say in things. I still don't want to see her. Then you won't. But I want you to be prepared in case she tries. Sydney was quiet. Do you ever miss her? Like, the way she was before? The person I miss doesn't exist anymore. Maybe she never did. At least I have you. Always. I'm not going anywhere. Summer came. Sydney was doing better. Not great, but better. Grades improved. Sleeping more. Smiling more. Dr. Reeves said she was making real progress. 3 years went by faster than I expected. Sydney was 17 now. Senior year. Applying to colleges. Acting like a normal teenager. She still had bad days. Still had nightmares. Still saw Dr. Reeves monthly. But she was functional. Happy even. Most of the time. Amanda's mom finally filed bankruptcy in the spring. Guess 30 grand was harder to come by than her Facebook post suggested. We never saw a dime. Didn't matter. The point was made. Sydney got accepted to 3 colleges. Picked one 4 hours away. She'd start in the fall. Pre-law. Said she wanted to be a prosecutor. Help other kids who went through what she did. I was proud. Amanda was set to be released in October. 4 years and 3 months after sentencing. Early release for good behavior. Got out with strict parole conditions. No contact with Sydney. Weekly check-ins. Drug tests. GPS monitoring. She moved in with her mom. Got a job at a warehouse. Night shift. Minimum wage. No gym would hire her anyway. Background check made sure of that. I kept tabs through mutual acquaintances. Made sure she wasn't trying to circumvent the no contact order. Figured it was only a matter of time before she showed up. So I prepared. Had a banker's box ready in the garage. Her remaining junk. Old photos. Some jewelry. On top, I taped an itemized invoice. Every therapy session. Every medication. 4 years of costs she was court-ordered to pay, but hadn't. It came to $57,600. With interest. Sydney came home that summer with her acceptance letters. She'd decided on her school. I was getting her stuff ready for move-in day when it happened. That evening, she came to me with her phone. Mom texted me. My stomach dropped. Show me. New number. Message sent an hour ago. I know I'm not supposed to contact you, but I needed you to know I'm sorry that I failed you. I think about you every day. I hope you're doing well. I love you. What should I do? Do you want to respond? No. But should I? You don't owe her anything. Should we report it? That's up to you. If you report it, she goes back to prison. If you don't, she might do it again. She thought about it. I don't want her to go back to prison. I just want her to leave me alone. Okay, I'll handle it. I called Amanda's parole officer. Reported the contact. Officer Mendez. Good guy. He called Amanda in. Gave her a formal warning. One more violation, and she'd be back in custody. GPS monitoring was extended for another year. I also mentioned I thought she might show up at the house. You have a criminal protective order? Lifetime. Part of her sentencing. Also a parole condition. Then if she shows up, call 911 immediately. Don't engage. Don't open the door. Let the police handle the arrest. Send me footage and the case number after. I'll handle the parole violation paperwork on my end. Got it. I thanked him. Gave him my cell. Then I made another call. To a process server I'd worked with. Asked if he'd be available on short notice. Explained I needed wage garnishment papers served for unpaid therapy costs. $57,600 worth. He said he'd keep his schedule flexible. Also called a tow company. The divorce decree awarded me both vehicles. Amanda had been driving the CRV without permission. I wanted it back. Arranged for them to be on standby with a copy of the court order. 2 weeks later, she finally showed up. Saturday afternoon. Sydney was at Jordan's house. I was home alone doing yard work. A car pulled up I didn't recognize. Beat up Honda. Amanda got out. She looked rough, thinner. Hair pulled back, dark circles. Wearing a warehouse uniform. I pulled out my phone. Started recording. Went inside and waited. She knocked. Tentative at first. Then harder. Nathan, I know you're home. Please. I just want to talk. I called 911 first. This is Nathan Walker at address. My ex-wife is at my front door in violation of a criminal protective order. She's on parole. I need officers. Units are being dispatched. Stay inside. Don't engage. ETA 7 minutes. I hung up. Started recording on my phone. Then texted Officer Mendez. She's here. Officers en route. We'll send footage and case number. Then I texted the process server. Now? And the tow company? Officers on scene for civil standby. Bring the court order. Amanda kept knocking. Please, I need to see Sydney. I need to explain. I grabbed the banker's box from the garage. Opened the front door. Chain still on. Phone recording through the gap. She looked at me, eyes red. Nathan, you sold our kid for pills. There's nothing left to discuss. That's not... Here. I dropped the box down at her feet. Your stuff. Invoice on top. $57,600. Court-ordered therapy costs, mail payment, or I garnish your wages. She looked at the invoice. Face crumbled. I can't pay that? Should have thought about that before the party. I pointed at the mailbox. See that? S. Walker. Just Sydney. You're not part of this family. I'm her mother. You were. Then you picked pills. Live with it. A guy in a suit approached from the sidewalk. Process server. Amanda Walker? She turned. What? You've been served. Wage garnishment order. $57,600 in unpaid court-ordered therapy costs. Your employer will be contacted. He handed her the papers and walked away. Amanda stared at them. You set me up. You violated a criminal protective order. I documented it. I held up my phone, still recording. She lost it. Started crying. Banging on the door. You took everything. My daughter. My life. Everything. I didn't take anything. You gave it away. Neighbors were coming out now. All watching and recording. Amanda kept banging. Let me see her. 5 minutes. She doesn't want to see you. Hasn't for 4 years. Won't change. Sirens getting closer. 2 patrol cars pulled up. 4 officers. Body cameras active. Officers. This is Amanda Walker. On parole. Criminal protective order in place. Lifetime no contact as part of her sentencing. She showed up. Refused to leave. I have footage. Lead officer approached Amanda. Ma'am, calm down. You're violating a criminal protective order. Come with us. I just wanted to see my daughter. You can explain at the station. Turn around. They cuffed her while she was still crying. A tow truck pulled up. The driver got out with paperwork. Approached one of the officers. Civil standby for vehicle recovery. Court order says Mr. Walker was awarded both vehicles in the divorce. That CRV wasn't surrendered. The officer looked at the paperwork. Nodded. Go ahead. Amanda turned. That's my car. Judge awarded me both vehicles. Divorce decree. You kept driving it anyway. I'm recovering my property. You can't. Already did. Legal. The lead officer came over. You have the footage? Everything. Plus text from 2 weeks ago where she violated parole by contacting my daughter. I'll send it all to Officer Mendez at Community Corrections. Can you send it to me too? He gave me a card. Uploading now. They put Amanda in the car. She looked at me through the window, mouthing something. I couldn't hear it. Didn't care. The tow truck drove off with the CRV. Officers took statements from neighbors. They left. Amanda left. The street was quiet again. I closed the door. Stood there for a minute. Sydney came home an hour later. What happened? Mrs. Castillo said mom got arrested? She showed up. Violated parole. Is she going back? Probably. Good. You okay? Yeah. Glad I wasn't here. We ordered food. Watched a movie. Normal Saturday night. My phone rang around 9. Officer Mendez. Got your footage and the case number from the arrest. Clean documentation. She's being held pending a parole board hearing. They meet Wednesday. Based on the criminal protective order violation and the arrest, they'll revoke parole. She'll serve the remainder of her original sentence plus additional time for the violation. Could be 2 more years. What about the car? That's civil. The divorce decree awarded it to you, so the recovery was legal. She can't contest it. August came. Move-in day for college. We loaded up Sydney's stuff. Drove 4 hours. Got her settled in her dorm. Met her roommate. Nice girl. Pre-med. I helped set up her room. When it was time to leave, she hugged me. Thank you for everything. For protecting me. For believing me. You don't have to thank me. A lot of parents wouldn't have done what you did. So yeah, thank you. I drove home alone. The house felt empty. I sat there in the empty house thinking about everything that happened. Amanda was back in prison, serving at least 2 more years. Her car was gone. Her access to Sydney was gone. Her freedom was gone. All because she couldn't follow one simple rule. Stay away. People sometimes ask if I feel guilty. If I think I was too harsh. If setting up the process server and the tow truck and recording everything was overkill. Number. Not even a little bit. You protect your kids. Period. Anyone who threatens them gets cut off. And if they come back, you make sure they can't hurt your kid again. Amanda had every opportunity to do the right thing. She didn't. And now she's back where she belongs. Some people think I'm cold, that I should have given her another chance. That family means forgiveness. Those people didn't watch their daughter fall apart, didn't hold her while she screamed through nightmares, didn't spend 4 years rebuilding what Amanda destroyed in one night. So yeah, I'm cold, and I'm fine with it. Because being cold kept my daughter safe, and that's all that matters.